Okay, so I already hooped my stabilizer for this project. So, but two things that I've done to my hoop that make getting things lined up easier is I went in and did my measurements and marked my halfway marks on all four sides of my hoop. This is important whenever I float because it gives me somewhere to line up at. So you can measure to get that, or you can use your grid, lay it on, and then line everything up to make sure that you get your marks where they need to be. You can also use it to mark your center. I don't usually use the grid. I use my ruler, and I come in and I draw my lines. Oops. And forget with the big hoop that this doesn't work, so I have to get my big ruler out. So this is actually my center of my design. So we'll set my hoop off to the side. Well, before I do that, just for your knowledge. So from the edge of your hoop to your center is 4.5 to here. From your edge of your hoop to your center here is going to be 8. Those are going to be important here. So I'm going to mark my center. I usually do a line just across. This gives me my point to measure from. So you've got your center line. You know that your 4.5 is your center of your design. So come down and mark your 4.5 mark. Come over here, mark 4.5. Come over here, mark 4.5. And draw your line. Knowing this line is straight, you can line your ruler up straight on it. Draw your line straight down. Here's the center of your design. I lost my cap. Grab your hoop, which I probably should have done this. So I'm going to do this design this way, just to hoop this easier. Grab your hoop. Run it inside. I use a pen, mark the center of my design, and then move it to the center of my hoop. Line up your lines. going to be your center point. So you're going to line up your center line all the way with these two lines. This center line and this center line is going to line up with these. So now that you have your center marked, you can actually come over here, put your pin in to your line and line it up. Lay it back down. Pin through. Come back to your other side. Grab your line. Line it up with your line here. Lay it back down. And pin on your line. You can double check your lines here. I didn't expand my line out far enough, but I know it's lined up here. Pin it at the top. Pin it at the bottom. And then go back and put your pins in around your other places. And this, when you load this on the machine, this is going to be the center of your design. So then you can use your arrow button and move it if you need to move it just a little bit. But this should line up right pretty close to the center of where your needle lands. If it doesn't, just use your button and move it. And you've got it hooped. You know it's level. You know it's straight. Throw your water soluble on top and you're good to load. So I always try to pin in my corners here if I'm turning something and pulling the back out so it doesn't get distorted, but it's ready to go on the machine.